Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be in the world. Welcome to the Intuitive Healing channel on Gift of Healing TV. I'm Sarah Jane, and I am delighted this evening, because it's evening for me, to be joined by Janette Stuart. Janette, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Sarah. It is a pleasure to be here in your beautiful energy. And thank you to those that are joining us live and if you're catching the replay.
Bless you. Thank you. Now, Janette is here to share with us connecting with your angels. So let me do a little brief introduction to Janette, and then we will take it from there. In a world often shadowed by uncertainty and challenges, Janette Stuart emerges as a radiant beacon of hope and joy. As the emissary of joy at Angel Angles. Yes,
it's a mouthful.
Right. A best-selling author, angelic practitioner, and a triumphant survivor of pancreatic cancer, Janette's journey epitomizes resilience, faith, and the transformative power of positivity. Through her remarkable experiences and unwavering spirit, Janette has touched countless lives, illuminating pathways to inner peace and healing while exploring her insights on navigating adversity, embracing joy, and finding profound meaning amidst life's trials. Janette, thank you so very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Please. Now, we didn't go through this before we went live, so I apologize. I'm going to put you full screen when you start talking. So let's hope I'm in the right place for you.
Okay.
Because this is about you. This is not about me. So please share a little of your story, and I suppose really your connection with the angelic realm.
Sure. I'd be delighted to. So thank you, Sarah. And I grew up in the church and I always heard about angels, but I never had really an experience with the angels. I thought it was more like only for holy people, like maybe if you were giving birth to Jesus Christ or Mother Teresa or somebody of that kind of stature. I didn't know I could have a relationship with the angels. And in 2012, my brother had a brain tumor, and he went from being able to walk 5 miles a day to not being able to walk at all in a very short time. And we were close. We were only 17 months apart. And I had a real hard time with his illness and with the prospect of losing him. And so I found on Facebook a woman. This was back when Facebook was just words. And she did this beautiful affirmations of healing from the angels. And I reached out to her. She was doing free affirmations if you just asked for a topic. And I said I needed help dealing with the loss of my brother and his physical decline. And she sent me back some beautiful, soothing words from the angels. And that was just so soothing. And that's what got me through those difficult days of his illness and following his passing at the end of 2012. So I had a period of grief, and then I decided I would reach out to my mentor and ask for an angel session. She had offered them. I didn't know really what they were. I didn't know what to expect. Would I see dead people? Would I lose my faith? Would people think I was weird? All of those kind of thoughts. And when I had my angel session with her, it was just such a love fest, and it really gave me such comfort and peace. And within 6 months of having that, I was researching how I could too give people that gift. Like how could I possibly learn to do that? And when you read my bio of stumbling over the words angel angles. The angels gave me that name for my business when I was still working. And they thought that their thought process behind it was that the word angel and angles are often mistyped. And they also wanted to put a heavenly slant into your day. So that's where angel angles came from. And so when I hear it, or a lot of people think it's angel angels, and I just think back on, that level of trust and connecting with those angels and being in that sense of receptivity for taking in their guidance and moving forward.
Lovely. Thank you so very much for sharing that with us. The angelic realm, you commented about sort of, could we connect with the angels? And yes, I was raised a Catholic. They very much talk about the angels and the angelic realm. And I suppose I've never really sort of thought, can we connect with the angels? I suppose I've been lucky enough within me to think, well, why can't we?
Yeah.
And that's really important. But then I know there are other people who are very tied into religions. It was just like, why do we need the angels? We just go straight to the top. And it's just like, but our Creator has created the angels for us.
Yes.
To be there for us, guide us.
Yeah. And the word angels means God's messengers. So, and when we reach out to the angels, we're asking God for that gift that He gave us. We're not just like bypassing Him, and we're appreciating the gift of the angels. And we each have at least 2 guardian angels and many angels and guides available to us on the other side. So there's several ways we can connect. And one of them is through angel cards. I just happen to have an angel card deck handy, which I do most of the time. And that was one, when I was first learning about the angels, that was one way that I would like, what do angels want me to know? And then I'd go to my deck. And so people can also do a walking meditation in nature is also a wonderful way to connect with your angels in prayer, asking God and the angels to be with you. Sometimes you get messages through writing, and you're often surprised what comes out after you read your notes. It's like, wow, where did that come from? And it's our angels. Also, essential oils, putting yourself in a sacred space, like lighting a candle and welcoming the angels in, and being open to what comes. Not putting restrictions on, I want it this way. And, I want to see you wearing a blue dress, with blonde hair. So being open and receptive to the way the angels come in and how they come into our lives. So,
in respect to the guardian angels, yes, I'd have very much heard that we have a guardian angel for this life, but we have a guardian angel for us for every life. When I was thinking about the fact that we have guardian dragons, because I'm very much connected with the angels, but I'm also connected with dragons. And I was thinking about it as I was out for a walk. I do a lot of this out in nature.
Yeah.
And what came to me was, for want of a better way of putting it, not only do we have a guardian dragon of our soul, but we have the guardian angel of our soul. So the guardian angel of every lifetime it came to me that it's the guardian angel of our soul.
Beautiful.
I don't know whether that resonates with you.
It does, because this guardian angel has been with us since before we came here, and will leave with us, will be with us for eternity. So that makes perfect sense, because our soul is eternal. But it's a beautiful thought, and very, very soothing, that we have so many messengers of love guiding and showing us the way. And also we can reach out to different angels for different things during different times in our life. I know for me, when I was doing a lot of writing, I would reach out to Archangel Gabriel, who is the angel that works with authors and writers, and to help speakers to help deliver clear messages. And so that felt really empowering as well. A lot of people already know about Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael. So Archangel Michael is like the head honcho archangel. His name means he who is like God. And he is the patron saint of law enforcement, of fire safety. So the color attributed to Archangel Michael is blue. And Archangel Raphael is the angel of healing, and his name means God heals. And when I was in the hospital, I would wake up in the middle of the night and there'd be little green lights on my IV pole, and I'd be, okay, I know you're here, Archangel Raphael. So it gave me lots of hope and encouragement during those dark days. And also when people would come in, different staff members wearing green scrubs or a green tie or whatever, I would just be like, okay, that's a nod from the angels that they're here with me. So I'm always on the lookout for that as well. So the different signs of love from above. Sara, I don't know if you have any particular ones. I know you shared about walking in nature. So it could be hearing words of songs. It could be seeing feathers or butterflies, hummingbirds, different creatures in nature, and you just know the angels are trying to get your attention. It could be hearing snippets of a conversation, and you're like, oh, that was meant for me. And so don't doubt when you hear something, see something, is that a message from the angels? And it mostly is. So, if we just are open and receptive enough to acknowledge that, oh yeah, the angels are trying to get my attention. And I just want to share a quick example of that. I've been writing a chapter called Healing with Your Angels, and it's talking about releasing survivor's guilt. And this is going to be in an upcoming book by Brave Healer Productions called How to Be Brave. And our chapters are due on Friday, and I was feeling pretty complete with my chapter last week. I was walking around my neighborhood, and out of the blue, and here's another example is angel numbers. As I'm looking at the screen, it's 11:44 a.m. So those are wonderful angel numbers as well. So I was thinking about my chapter as I was on my walk, and a little thought came into my head. I wonder if I should add this in my chapter. And I looked down and I saw a dime. And so I picked it up and I said, thank you, angels. That was their confirmation. And then I was thinking, if I found 11 cents, that would be really cool, because 11, my son is born on 11/11, and 11, I see that all the time. as a wink. And when I see that, I think, and all is well. And so I walked around the corner and I thought, okay, I wonder about adding this in my bio. Looked down, there was a penny. And I hadn't found money in my walks in a long time. And that day I found 2 when I was thinking about my chapter, and that I got my 11 cents. I got my angel confirmation. And then when I got back, I added those things to my chapter and it just felt complete. So, paying attention, we ask for things, and to be open and receptive to the answers or the way or the timing that the angels share with us. Because sometimes it's not in the way that we are looking for an answer, or sometimes it's not in the timing that we are experiencing.
I think, but it's also something I just do. And I've been doing it now for quite a few years. And every time I hear a siren, I don't have to know whether it's ambulance, police, fire. It doesn't matter. I always ask Archangel Raphael and his angels to support, whatever is happening, whatever's going on, whoever requires it. And I'm just trying to think who it is. Jophiel. I'm sure it's Archangel Jophiel. And that's to do with wisdom. So that's to do with schools. That's to do with learning. So that actually you can ask Archangel Jophiel. So they require us to ask.
Right.
They cannot support us unless it is a life-threatening that we're not meant to have anything happen to us. They cannot interfere in our lives. But we can ask, and they will always do what they can within our agreements. And we have to accept the fact it has to be within our agreements. But they wish us to ask. They are there. It's not just a matter of, are they there? Yes, they are. And they're there. They don't want to be sitting there twiddling their thumbs. Please ask. They can help us all at the same time.
Right. And that's my understanding also, Sara, that they're there to help us and they want to be asked. And for me, I don't often ask out loud, but I ask from my heart, and it feels like that connection is there with my angels. I see in the chat, we have a few folks here. Tracy and Janette are here and saying hello. So we're glad that you're here with us today, friends. And so asking for our angels' help. And there's cool little experiments that you can do. I know of people that ask for a good parking spot while they're out driving. Angels, please give me a great parking spot. And a lot of times you get this great parking spot. So being open and receptive to those kind of ideas. So yes, they need to be asked because we have free will over our lives. And like Sara said, only in extreme life or death circumstances can they intervene. So
I have a great story about the parking places. I am going to say to you is, be careful how you ask. I was meeting my friends, and this was a few years back, pre-COVID. It was early October, and it turned out to be the most beautiful, glorious day. And I live very close to the coast, and we'd agreed to meet at a particular place. And I'd left home just not thinking that the place would be heaving. Everybody was heading for the seaside. And so it was just like, the closer I got, I thought, oh my goodness. And so I asked in this order, please help me to meet my friends on time and get a parking place. Now, I couldn't remember the name of the road, but I was able to visualize it because I've parked in it so many times. And they gave it to me in that order. So I drove to as close as I could get to where my friends were, and said, look, I am here. I've just got to find a parking space. You start walking along the seafront. I'll catch up with you. I then drove back. I drove up the road. Somebody was pulling out so I could pull in. But that was the order I asked for it in.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the order. If only I had said, please help me to find my parking space and meet my friends on time.
Right.
So seriously think about it, because they have a sense of humor, but they also will take you literally.
And that is a great example of, be careful what you ask for, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Absolutely. We've got Joy here as well. Hello, everyone. Angels are very blessed company in my life. So absolutely, we're all blessed to have them in our lives. We really are. You've talked about some of the sort of things that people can potentially do. I don't know. Have you got a sort of just a little, I don't like to call it an exercise, a way that some people may be able to connect, actually literally connect with their angel or an angel, whether it's just a deep breath, whatever it is. So have you got something that you could share with us?
Thank you for that, Sarah. And a lot of times, getting still, putting your hand on your heart, setting up a space for sacred communication with the angels, and opening our heart to ask for help. For me, when I first started using oracle cards, that was a great way for me to connect to the angels. And so I would infuse my card deck with love and ask the angels, what do I need to know? And so we're going to have a little experiment here. Since I have the card deck, so this is going to be for everybody that's live here on the call. And if you're watching the recording, you're in this same beautiful energy. And the message is steady progress, steady progress. We acknowledge you for the progress you've made in remembering love in your daily activities. We can clearly see the contribution you're making to the world through your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So here's the steady progress. So the angels are reminding us that even if we don't realize it, we are making a contribution in the world, and we are making steady progress. And back to when I would use the angel cards like several times a day, I finally got the message from the angels, you need to lean into your own inner wisdom and not rely on the cards so much, because I was drawing a card every 10 minutes. What should I eat for lunch? What should I do now? Blah, blah, blah. So I share that with so much love, that I really love my angel cards. And that was a great way for me to connect. And they also wanted me to embrace my inner wisdom and allow my inner knowing to come forth. So Janette says, beautiful card. So I'm glad you liked it. Yeah. Just the reminder from the angels that they're always with us. And, they're our cheerleaders, and we can reach out to them at any time. They're just a breath away. And Sarah, we had talked about, how to connect. And one of the things I love to do is get up early in the morning, and when the world is still quiet, is to connect with the angels. And also acknowledge when I feel their connection. So sometimes I'll see something, we talked about the angel numbers, the 11 and the 44, and also acknowledging the angels with so much love and gratitude for them being a guiding force in our life, that they're there. They like to be acknowledged. Like Sara said, they don't want to just be sitting there twiddling their thumbs like, oh, what's she going to do next? They actually like to be part of our life. It's their mission to watch over us and provide God's assistance to us when we ask. So,
yeah, no, thank you. And in fact, going back to the angel cards, yes, I used to take them to draw them on a very regular basis, and sort of write the notes, write down who it was and whatever. And it was just something, hang on, do you know what? I just felt, I shouldn't be doing this on a daily basis. I'm meant to be in control of my life. It's not about, but I remember an incident. I pulled a particular card a few times. It was Oceana, from a deck that I've got. I've got quite a few decks of cards.
Me too.
And it was just like, okay, I can't remember what the message to do with that was. And then I was at one stage I was training to do a 10K run, and there was a new restaurant that had opened up on the seafront, Oceanos, I think it was, they called it. So the ocean again. And then I saw a van or something with Oceanic on it. And it was just like, okay. What I was doing anyway, whatever. This 3 ocean with different endings cropped up. And then a friend of mine sort of said to me, Sara, I've had this email. They want to connect with us. And maybe that was the Oceanic bit from Oceanic. And I said, yeah. He said, what? I said, yes, because I'd had the Oceana and the Oceanos, and it was just like, to get Oceanic, and it was just like, there was a message there.
Yes.
They say, if something comes at you 3 times, listen. And it's really important. And I touched a life there of an amazing lady. And I won't go into that, but there are reasons we get these messages. Sometimes we will find out why. Other times we may not. But it's about listening, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And taking in those messages, and without the expectations, like you might not have to even do anything with it at that time, but to pay attention to the signs. We had talked about the money that I found in my journey when I was thinking about my chapter, like, okay, that was an acknowledgement from the angels, and that it ended up being 11 cents when I hadn't found any money for ages during my walk. That was just like a really cool confirmation that the angels were with me, and that we were having this conversation, and I was receiving their direction on how to proceed. So other ways that people can hear messages from the angels, feathers, coins, words from a song, snippets of conversations, seeing the animals, butterflies, all those kind of things are, if you think something is a sign from the angels, it is. So if you get that little inkling that, oh, I wonder if this is a sign, it is. And a lot of times the angels will use animals as a way to give us a message from love from above. Like, oh, my mom always sent me this. I know a gal recently whose mother passed away, and she said she always finds heart-shaped rocks from her mom and 4-leaf clovers. And she knows that it's her mom giving her acknowledgement from the other side that all is well. So the reminder that if you think it's a message from the angels, it is. If it's loving and kind.
And I've loved this when I've been working with the sound and working with people's name and them experiencing that. And the number of people I've had said to me, that sounded like my mother. And I've asked the question, have they passed? And to which I've got a yes. And it's just, in which case it was. You know, because we can also be a conduit, a message, a channel that brings that forward. I must admit, when it comes to, I guess, a sort of an inkling about something and I get a message. So for me, our heart is our connection to our soul, which is our connection to all that is. And therefore it's listen. But I'm a great one for getting the dowsing pendulum out.
Oh, yes, yes. So all these spiritual tools that we love, you know, that helps us connect with our angels and the inner wisdom. Yeah. And Sara, I had to laugh when you said you had quite a few angel card decks. Yeah, my collection just keeps growing. So that's fun. And Joy is saying that after her husband passed, she went on a trip to Yosemite and was blessed with a butterfly who stayed on her hand as she rode a bicycle around. In her mind, she knew the butterfly was a message that change, as hard as it sometimes is, would bring joy-filled butterflies. And so when she sees a butterfly, she knows that that's a sign from her husband saying hi from the other side, that all is well. So thank you for sharing that, Joy.
No, thank you. And hearing stories like that, it's trusting, isn't it? It's trusting. I still don't know why, but I was out walking on the Dartmoor several years ago and sort of just walking around, and suddenly a dragonfly landed on my trouser leg, and it was just like, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
And loving that connection with nature, you know, sort of, and trusting. And we get so many, we've seriously, the friend I share the house with, he adores the garden, but he's made it a wildlife garden. So we get butterflies, dragonflies, damselflies, we get birds, we get bees, we get frogs and newts, and we've got a garden full of wildlife. So if you want to take those as messages from angels, we've got a garden full of angels and fairies.
Yes, yes. It sounds like a beautiful place that he's created. So that is wonderful. Yeah.
It's trusting yourself, isn't it? It's believing in our connection.
Right. Right.
It's knowing that they are there to support us.
Right, right. And there's different ways, you know, there's 4 different clairs that they call a clairsentient. So that's like feeling that the angels are around you. There's clairaudient, to like hear that the angels are with you. There's clairvoyant, like to be able to see. Sometimes it's not with your actual eyes, but like with your third eye, like seeing that the angels are with us. But some people do see the actual angel energy. And what one did I forget? The claircognizant, which is the inner knowing that, oh, the angels are here. And for me, I'm a feeler, so I'm feeling the angel's presence, and I call it angel bumps. When I get the goosebumps, like the angels are here, and I know that, and I could feel the tingling like all through my body. And also the inner knowing is another way that they make their, like I told you about, thinking about my chapter. I didn't go on the walk specifically thinking, okay, angels, give me a message. I was thinking, I wonder if I put this in my chapter, and then I got the dime, and then around the corner, the other thing, and I got the penny. So I had my 11 cents, magical numbers. But to trust, Sara, you had spoke about trusting that we're actually receiving what the angels want us to know. I had a client a while back who had asked for signs of feathers. Her grandmother had passed away shortly before that, and she wanted feathers as a sign from her grandmother that everything was okay with grandma and that she would be fine. And so she got feathers, but she doubted it. She shared it with her husband, and he said, "Oh no, that was just some animal attacked that bird, and then you saw all those feathers." So, the being careful who and what you share with about these nudges from love from above, so that you're not distracted or disappointed in others sensing it's what you think. So, it's always easier to see in somebody else than to actually see with our own. So.
Oh, and it really is, but it is. I'm one of these people. It's just about trust and knowing. I don't see things, hear things. But you know what? It's fine. There are times when I'd like, but it doesn't matter. But there were a number of years ago, before buying this house, I just resigned from my job. I was standing in my little house that I was in, and the words were in my head. That it wasn't a voice. It was just time to move on. And it was, excuse me, what are you going on about? I've just resigned. You asking me to move? What are you asking me to do? And I just said, you bring it, I'll do it.
Yep.
Within a couple of weeks, my friend Trevor said, friends have just come back from Australia. They bought a place out there. Their house is going on the market, which it hadn't done. It never went on the market. That house was this house. And the name of the house is Nathania, which apparently somebody has said means God's gift. There is a beautiful statue. They used to own a gravestone shop, the previous owners. There's a beautiful statue of Mother Mary in the garden. And the postcode ends RA. If anybody's going to shorten my name to anything, it'll be Ra, not Sarah.
Yeah. Wow.
And it was just like, okay, yes. We should never, ever have been able to have afforded to do this. And we've been in this house 18 and a half years.
Well, and that you paid attention and you were looking for the signs. You're like, in your logical mind, you were like, I just resigned from my job. There's no way I could do this, blah, blah, blah. But then you leaned into it, asking that you make it happen, angels, and that you got the confirmation of the name of the house being God's gift, and then Mother Mary out in the garden, which now I'm sure she's loving all the gifts of nature that are out there with her as well. So beautiful.
Now I can see her from the window.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a beautiful. Yeah. And like, you think in your logical mind, oh, it doesn't make sense. I just quit my job. This isn't the right timing, but it was the right timing and divine timing. So.
Oh, I think I'm going to use this word again. It's the trusting. And what I've discovered since is there are two ley lines that cross in the house. They're not major ley lines. One's stronger than the other. But there's also an old well in the garden, and one of them actually runs through that well and then through the house.
Oh, wow.
And so there's an energy here, and it's just like, we are meant to be here, so we've been able to do it. It might be tight at times, but this is where both of us are meant to be at this point in time, and we will be here as long as the universe wishes us to be here.
Wow.
And it's so about trusting that. And then a few years ago, I was wondering about the mythical beings, which includes the angels. And it was like, okay, so there are oracle cards for the angels, there are oracle cards for dolphins and mermaids, and there are oracle cards for unicorns. And then there started being more and more oracle cards for dragons. But it was why, what happens if one of the other mythical beings appears to you in a meditation or whatever? And I was trying to research it and trying to find out, and there were no answers. And I was out one day in the car and I was thinking about this, and it very rarely happens to me, but that those words were in my head again. And this time it was, "You're doing it." It was
Yes.
just like, thanks. So I now have messages from many mythical beings that could be a deck of oracle cards as dragons and the crystal dragons. But
it's neat.
Interesting that we all have this ability, don't we? This ability to connect, to receive the messages, find what works for you.
Right.
Believe in the amazing being that you are.
Exactly. That, and I'm just, in awe of how many times the word trust has come up in our conversation today, Sara. That trust that what we need will be provided for us. Trust that what we're hearing is the divine guidance. Trust that your life matters. Trust that you're making a difference. Our card that we're making contributions, clearly making contributions through our thoughts, feelings, and actions of love. So, the invitation to do all of those things with the guidance of love. And angels are pure, unconditional love. And they want to remind us of that, that the word angel means God's messenger. And we all have angels, even if you're unsure. They still are with you your whole life. Sara and I talked about it before our going live, about how the guardian angels are with you throughout the length of your soul forever, for eternity. So beautiful. Does anybody have any questions that they wanted to ask in the chat? You can go ahead and type that in the chat. Sara, yes, I'm just delighting in the conversation that we often discount what we hear, that we think, oh, I'm just making this up, or this can't be this easy, or whatever. But it is true that the angels do love and support us unconditionally. And they are here to support, help protect us, help guide us, and as God's messengers.
Sort of something else that's sort of just come to me is I discovered who one of my guardian angels is through a meditation. And I must have been reading some information about sort of different angels, and Archangel Haniel came up, and there was the connection to the moon. And it was just like, oh, okay, fine. That makes sense. Because I look out, obviously when it's cloudy, you can't see the moon. Dark side of the moon, you can't see the moon. But I look for the moon, whether it's visible in the morning, whether it's visible at night, whatever it is, I look for the moon. I've done that for years. And that just makes so much sense. I'm happy when I can see the moon in a day. So it's, by all means, think about learning a little bit about the angels. And there may be something that registers within you and thinks, oh, actually, potentially, am I now being told this is one of my guardian angels? And I'm going to use that word again. It's trusting that the way the information comes to you. So that now Jackie has just put, just joining. All right, so apologies. We're coming towards the end for being late. I was at the bus stop. Do you find it's easier to talk to your angels if you practice meditation? Do you have any suggested meditations?
Yeah, so thank you for being here, Jackie. I was just reminded of a meditation when Sara was talking about looking at the moon, and I made a meditation. It's free on my website, and it's a meditation of Archangel Haniel. And the image that I chose for it, which you'll love, Sara, is a moonscape over the ocean. And so Archangel Haniel is the angel of joy. And so there's, we talked about Archangel Michael being the protector, support angel, Raphael being the healing angel, Jophiel being the angel of Sara, I'm forgetting.
Understanding and I talk
inner,
every day.
Yeah. And see, it's okay, if you don't know exactly who, you can ask for, can the angel of, parking help me find a spot? Can the angel for healing, can the angel that assists with grief help me? And yes, Jackie, about the meditations, there's lots of beautiful meditations on Sara's website. I also have some on my website, and there's so many on YouTube. And yes, I do find that for me, I need to get still in order to hear the angels. And that could be being out in nature, that could be walking. And when I get the little nudge from the angels, okay, I need to pay attention. So just being cognizant of them and their presence. So Sara's put in a couple of my websites, and I think we have some meditations on the Wellbeing and Wonder site as well. And so, Sara, are you going to put in your website as well? Oh. You're welcome, Jackie. I hope that helped.
Well, folks, Gift of Healing TV at giftofhealingtv.com. It's as simple as that. Yes, there are the catch-up pages, there's meditations, there's exercises, there's interviews, there's a whole load there. And I have actually shared on there a meditation to connect with your guardian angel. But this is meant to be about this is meant to be about you, Janette. Okay, yes, actually it's meant to be about the angels.
Exactly. And Janette says that her listening tonight is no coincidence, and she feels that angels resonating with me. Make sure she saw the email saying that you were starting to remind you, not forget, and here you are. So Janette, we're so grateful that you were able to pay attention and trust that you were being directed to be here for a specific purpose. So thank you for that.
We have an awful lot of J's here.
Yes. Jackie, Janette, Janet, yes.
And I've got Jane as well.
Yes.
I was actually called Jane as a baby.
Oh, that's funny.
I love that. Thank you.
And we're all JA, so that's funny.
Except for Tracy.
Except for Tracy. Yes, bless you, Tracy.
For bringing more of a balance.
Yes, exactly.
Is there anything we haven't touched on that you'd like to share before we close?
No, I don't think so. Sara, I just wanted to reiterate, that We all have guardian angels. The angels are ready and willing to help us. We just need to ask for their assistance. And if you don't know which angel to ask for, you can just put out a general, like I said, can the angels of finding things help me locate this? Can the angel of technology help me with my upcoming computer program? Things like that. And they'll definitely help you. And to be willing, open to receive their information, their guidance, because it doesn't always come in our perfect timing or the way that we want it to, but that we are so loved, that the angels are pure, unconditional love, and we just need to ask for their assistance, and they will gladly do so. So thank you, everyone, for being with us today. And if you're watching the replay, you're in this beautiful angelic light as well.
Oh, bless you, bless you. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. And thank you to all of you for joining us live. It's been a real pleasure to have you here. Those of you that are watching the video via YouTube, because it's not up at the moment, but it will be up by the time you're watching it, obviously. I'll make sure that Janette's websites are underneath. If you're feeling drawn to connecting with her, please do. Sort of connecting with your angels. I love it. I just love it. The angels, the dragons, all those, the guides and guardians that we all have. We are so watched over. We are so loved. And they respect us for being here, for taking the lower energies to be here. And they can help us to raise our energies. It's up to us to trust.
Yeah, to trust. Sara, and I just was thinking that, all religions talk about angels. And so it's not one specific religion or spiritual practice or whatever, that the angels have been with us since millennia. And they say, that if you could only see how many angels are around you, that you would never doubt. You would, be able to march confidently into your life. And that's the way we should be living our life. So knowing that the angels are there as a love and support for us. And Kathleen, so glad you're here. Yeah, we have lots of J's. So thank you very much, friends, for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all. So, folks, Janette, thank you again. Very much appreciated the share you've brought to us today. Next week, we have today's conversation, Foundations of Self-Belief and the Implications of Childhood Sexual Abuse on Self-Belief. We go into serious topics, and I'm not saying the angels aren't serious. The angels have an amazing sense of humor. Do remember that, folks.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they have to watch us do all the funny things that we do throughout our lives.
Yes, absolutely. They don't despair of us, in spite of some of the posts you may see about angels despairing of us. They don't. They love us for our humanness in this in this experience. So I hope that you'll think about joining us again. And even tough subjects, you can still find a lightness in them if you trust and believe in the love and the loving being that you are and those that you're connected to. So thank you so much, Janette.
Thank you. It's been
an absolute real pleasure. Sadly, we'll get kicked out. There won't be any chatting afterwards, and I'll send you the link to the video tomorrow.
Well,
take care.
So much.
Be safe. Stay well, folks. Namaste.
Namaste. Bye-bye.